Good afternoon, Pigaholic friends. Today is January 24th. We resumed pruning our fig orchard yesterday. I spent a little over 2 days pruning my young May orchard. I have quite a few rootstock trees that need to get grafted. And just to give an update on everything here, I don't get out too early in the morning. I don't like cold weather. Anything under 45 is colder than I like to work in. Having bundled up and all that, I'm okay, but having to hold on to frosty branches early in the morning isn't something I want in my later years here to have in my memory. But we made good progress today. On Monday, we'll finish the 5th and 6th rows of our orchard. We're getting close to the end on that. And then this 7th row here is interplanted, so it'll take a couple days to prune that. And we have some trees near the house and in a triangle area. We got figs in about 5 different areas in our farm, but this is the main orchard. Some people have asked, about videos on pruning demonstrations. And our biggest crop with our figs is the cuttings. We focus on producing good quality cuttings and not optimizing breba production or main crop production. We make money off of fruit sales. We sell wholesale locally. We don't ship fresh fruit. That's another thing that we've been asked about. We tried that a couple of times with poor results, and that was after spending a lot of time trying to pack them carefully, and I just don't have time for that. But I'll just show, a couple of trees as an example. We target, an estimate of how many cuttings we'll sell, and prune that, and we make an estimate of how many we have left on the tree. But here, a couple of things that we did here. I used the chainsaw to remove a branch that was growing real low near the base and coming out too far. One time, one of my trees, that De La Gloria, got wiped out. And I told a former worker, I didn't fire him over that, but he quit on his own accord for a better opportunity. But I said, cut that branch off. He was going to hit it with the mower and it's going to damage the tree. Well, it ended up getting ripped completely out of the ground and destroyed that tree, unfortunately. But we do have a replacement growing now, but we lost several years because of that. And so we cut that, and also this other branch here was pinching the drip line, and so we removed that. That helicopter coming here, I don't think we're under attack. But the growth of figs is quite a bit different from one variety to the other. And even though they get the same nutrition, like this tree here, the cuttings are thinner and is much more bushy in habit, and we do, thin out a lot of those branches. One thing we do in the pruning, and to allow for fruit harvest, is we do try to shorten all the trees. I didn't get around to it for some time here, but after we're done with our big cutting season, I'd like to come through here and top everything to no more than 4 or 5 feet tall, so that we have easy reach for fruit harvest. Also, that gives us more growth of new cuttings. Here's a tree that we have lots of cuttings from. Some trees have grown so vigorously that they give us way more cuttings than we need. Here's a tree that gets shaded out too much, so we cut this tree back to give it more light. Again, this is a row that is interplanted. People ask frequently what's the spacing of our orchard. and it's 16 foot by 20 foot, but I didn't want to expand the orchard any further north here, so I interplanted this row so they're 8 foot by 20 foot between rows. So it's crowded. In some cases we have two trees of the same variety, and I should just cut out one of them and get rid of it. But most of the time we just have one tree of each variety. Here you can see our Yang Mei orchard. This is Miraca rubra, and we have many fruiting trees. At the present time, we're the only orchard in the United States of this Chinese fruit. It's a very delicious fruit. It's very expensive at the current time. But we have some trees that we've attempted to graft before that didn't grow, or some trees that died. So here's laying on the ground are some of the tops that I've cut off, and we hope to be grafting those the week after next. And I have some friends coming to help with that. I hope to have our pruning of figs done by then, and I'll be working on the website. So here's an example of pruning. How do we prune our trees? Well, here with the chainsaw, we shorten the tree so that we can pick fruit, but rather than pruning every smaller branch off that we can for cuttings, we reduce it in height significantly and prune that. So it's not something that we can use as an example to others, hobby growers, on how to prune their tree. Though I did see a video many years ago, 14 years ago I'm guessing, in Australia, where every year they use a chainsaw and cut their trees to something like 18 inches tall. We aren't sure yet when our sale is going to start. We need to get closer to finish with the pruning and get our Yang Mei grafted, and our fig cutting sales are very important to us, and they're important to all of our followers, but the timing of getting the Yang Mei grafted is very date sensitive, whereas once the cuttings are in the walk-in cooler, it's fine if they're delayed a week before we ship them. They can last in there for a few months. But that's not what we're planning on doing. But if the temperatures get too warm for Yang Mei grafting, they push buds before the graft unit is healed. And so we want to get that done while the weather is still cool. Our days lately have been quite warm. Today was an exception. Like yesterday, maybe it was 35 degrees in the morning, but 65 degrees in the afternoon. So that sort of warm weather wakes things up sooner than we would like. So we need to get the Yang Mei grafted, and we have 300 or 400 trees maybe that need to be grafted. But the figs are still very dormant, no signs of life or new buds pushing anyway of any of those, so it's not a critical issue. So we're making good progress, and we appreciate your patience. I think I've answered everything that I could. If I have a hobby tree that I am pruning one day, I'll try to do a video on how I prune it for fruit production. But again, our main crop here are the fig cuttings. Thank you for watching, and thanks for your patience.